let me step back on this one, because I believe that the parents play a very important role. I believe that we need to give the parents more influence when it comes to student assignment. As a matter of fact, we really should give the parents the power to decide within the means and the objectives we have to follow which school their student should attend.
How do you go about doing that?
Like it is done in the rest of the world. I would start out with neighborhood schools. I would reserve in every school, let's say 30% of the capacity for students which are not from the neighborhood, and would make it a transparent process where parents can decide. For example, if I believe as a parent that my child should go to Providence because Providence has this great score, so guaranteed tech school, why should I not allow this? Because as CMS, I need to make sure that every child, every school is a school of excellence. I need to make sure that all our 138,600 students have the same opportunity. Now, if I do the student assignment as CMS, I have results like we have today, which are not equal. We all know this. But if I give the parent more power, if I see that, let's say, 20,000 students would like to go to Providence, I need to do something about this.
So what do you do when, you know, the number of seats you've reserved at Providence don't fit the demand, and the slots at West Charlotte are not taken?
As CMS, I need to do what it takes to make either West Charlotte or West Mecklenburg a school of excellence.
How do you do that?
Oh, I need to first start with the principle, like we have done this with strategic staffing, but I need to do this at a much broader basis. I need to provide the means for it, and you bring me to another very important thing we haven't talked about, but in my opinion, the biggest problem we are having is that our high school students, and to some extent middle school students, are not motivated. You know the percentage from the UNCC survey, where or actually one is a CMS survey which talks about only 15% of our students in CMS like to go to school.
Let me stop you for a second, Hans, because I've listened to all that you said, but I'm still searching for you to respond to my initial question. With where we are, with what you know about where we are, the question I'm asking you is, can CMS, if they continue to do what they're doing with what we've got, achieve that state-mandated education for the children? Can we do it?
If we don't change drastically what we do know.
Why?
Because I just indicated, or let me try differently. We need to provide an education which assists and makes it possible that every one of our students gets prepared for life. This doesn't mean that everybody has to go to college. It needs to provide the means that everybody knows, every student knows why they learn what they should learn. Our big problem in the classroom is the lack of motivation. I'll give you an example. I had a student who said, why do I, 16 years, wanted to drop out. I said, you're a great guy. No discipline problem, nothing. He said, why do I need to learn Shakespeare? Why do I need to learn calculus? I am going to take over the garage from my grandfather. I worked for him, with him since the age of 9. We're not doing anything for the students. We let him graduate, and what does a student know today when he comes out of high school? What does he offer? He's well prepared, if it is a good school, for college, but he's not prepared for anything else. They go as salespeople to Home Depot, McDonald's, and so that's what I'm talking here about when I say purposeful learning. When we can achieve this, when I have this, everything else falls in place, because I go back to the assessment. The assessment and the testing had to be focused on the student, on what the student wants to achieve and to what extent this achievement has been achieved. I'm sorry, say using phrase. I'm not sure if I make it clear, but if you're my student and I can achieve as a school system that you know why you should learn and what it buys you, then we have won the game. But what we do today is we forget the student. We forget that the student has responsibilities. We forget that the student needs to be accommodated in his or her objectives. We totally forget this. I get angry every time when they speak on the loudspeakers in high school and say, kids, children, these are young people which are ready to take a job when they're 18 or should be ready. But they're not, because we handle them like children. And if I can establish this, then it goes back and the other factors become less important, because I would want to create high schools which have special career tracks. At the same time, have the ability to go to college.